Welcome to our video on the history of Native American culture. Native American culture is one of the oldest and most diverse cultures in the world. It is a rich tapestry of traditions, beliefs, and customs that have been passed down from generation to generation. In this video, we will explore the history of Native American culture from its origins to the present day. Native American culture has a long and complex history that spans thousands of years. The first Native Americans arrived in North America more than 12,000 years ago, crossing a land bridge that connected Asia and North America. These early settlers were hunters and gatherers who lived off the land, relying on the natural resources around them for food, shelter, and clothing. Over time, Native American culture evolved and diversified, with different tribes developing their own unique customs and traditions. These tribes were often nomadic, moving from place to place in search of food and resources. They lived in harmony with nature, respecting the land and the animals that lived on it. Native American culture was deeply rooted in spirituality and religion. Many tribes believed in a higher power or a creator, and they practiced elaborate rituals and ceremonies to honor their gods and ancestors. These ceremonies often involved dancing, singing, and the use of sacred objects such as feathers, drums, and pipes. Native American culture also placed a strong emphasis on community and family. Tribes were organized into clans or bands, and each member had a specific role and responsibility within the group. Families were the foundation of Native American society, and they were responsible for passing down traditions and teachings from one generation to the next. Despite their rich cultural heritage, Native Americans faced many challenges throughout history. European colonization, forced relocation, and the loss of land and resources all had a profound impact on Native American culture. Today, many Native American tribes are working to preserve their traditions and customs while also adapting to the modern world. In the next segment of our video, we will explore the impact of European colonization on Native American culture. Join us as we continue our journey through the history of Native American culture. In the 15th century, European explorers began to arrive in North America, marking the beginning of a new era in Native American history. The arrival of Europeans had a profound impact on Native American culture, leading to significant changes in their way of life. European colonization brought with it new technologies, such as guns and metal tools, which gave Europeans a significant advantage over Native Americans. Europeans also brought diseases, such as smallpox, which devastated Native American populations. As Europeans began to settle in North America, they brought with them a different way of life and a different set of values. They saw the land as a resource to be exploited, rather than a sacred gift to be respected. This clash of cultures led to conflict and tension between Native Americans and Europeans. Many Native American tribes were forced to relocate from their ancestral lands, as Europeans claimed more and more territory. The Indian Removal Act of 1830, for example, forced thousands of Native Americans to leave their homes and move to designated Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. Forced relocation of Native Americans had a devastating impact on their culture. Many tribes lost their connection to their ancestral lands, which were often central to their spiritual beliefs and traditions. They also lost access to important resources, such as hunting grounds and fishing streams. Despite these challenges, Native American culture continued to evolve and adapt. Some tribes, such as the Cherokee Nation, developed written languages and established schools to educate their children. Others, such as the Navajo Nation, used their skills as weavers and silversmiths to create a thriving economy. Today, many Native American tribes are working to preserve their cultural heritage and traditions. They are reclaiming their ancestral lands, revitalizing their languages, and promoting their art and music. In the next segment of our video, we will explore the impacts of the Indian Wars on Native American culture. Join us as we continue our journey through the history of Native American culture. In the late 19th century, tensions between Native Americans and the United States government reached a boiling point, leading to a series of conflicts known as the Indian Wars. These wars had a profound impact on Native American culture, and their legacy is still felt today. The Indian Wars were a series of conflicts between Native American tribes and the United States government fought over issues such as land rights, resources, and cultural differences. The most famous of these conflicts was the Battle of Little Bighorn, in which a coalition of Native American tribes defeated General George Custer and his troops. The Indian Wars had a devastating impact on Native American culture. Many tribes were forced to give up their ancestral lands and move to reservations, where they were often isolated from their traditional way of life. The government also banned many Native American religious practices, such as the sun dance and the ghost dance. Despite these challenges, Native American culture continued to thrive. Many tribes, such as the Lakota Sioux, used their experiences in the Indian Wars to strengthen their sense of identity and pride in their culture. They also continued to practice their traditional beliefs and ceremonies, often in secret. In the 20th century, Native American activism and advocacy led to significant changes in government policy towards Native Americans. The Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, for example, allowed tribes to establish their own governments and regain control over their lands. Today, many Native American tribes are working to preserve their cultural heritage and traditions. They are using their experiences in the Indian Wars to educate others about the importance of respecting and honoring Native American culture. They are also using their voices to advocate for their rights and the rights of all indigenous peoples around the world. In the next segment of our video, we will explore the impact of the civil rights movement on Native American culture. Join us as we continue our journey through the history of Native American culture. In the 1960s and 1970s, the civil rights movement brought attention to the struggles of marginalized communities in the United States, including Native Americans. The movement had a significant impact on Native American culture, leading to increased activism and advocacy for Native American rights. During the civil rights movement, Native American activists began to demand greater recognition and respect for their culture and traditions. They protested against government policies that had forced them to abandon their languages and cultural practices, and they called for greater representation in government and society. One of the most famous Native American activists of this time was Russell Means, a member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Means was a leader of the American Indian Movement AIM, which fought for Native American rights and sovereignty. The civil rights movement also brought attention to the issue of Native American land rights. Many tribes had lost their ancestral lands to government policies and private interests, and they were fighting to regain control over their territories. In 1972, a group of Native American activists occupied the Bureau of Indian Affairs BIA headquarters in Washington, D.C., to protest against government policies that had harmed Native American communities. The occupation lasted for several days and drew national attention to the struggles of Native Americans. The civil rights movement had a profound impact on Native American culture. It led to greater recognition and respect for Native American traditions and beliefs, and it helped to bring attention to the ongoing struggles of Native American communities. Today, many Native American tribes are continuing the work of the civil rights movement, advocating for their rights and sovereignty. They are also working to preserve their cultural heritage and traditions, ensuring that future generations can learn from and honor their rich history. In the final segment of our video, we will explore the current state of Native American culture and the challenges that lie ahead. Join us as we conclude our journey through the history of Native American culture. Native American culture has a rich and complex history, marked by both triumphs and challenges. Today, many Native American tribes are working to preserve their cultural heritage and traditions, while also adapting to the modern world. One of the biggest challenges facing Native American culture today is the loss of language and traditional knowledge. Many Native American languages are endangered, with only a small number of fluent speakers remaining. This loss of language and knowledge is a threat to the survival of Native American culture. Despite these challenges, many Native American tribes are working to revitalize their languages and traditions. They are using technology and social media to connect with younger generations and share their cultural heritage with the world. Another challenge facing Native American culture is the ongoing struggle for sovereignty and self-determination. Many tribes are fighting for greater control over their lands and resources, as well as greater representation in government and society. The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, adopted in 2007, recognizes the rights of indigenous peoples to self-determination, cultural preservation, and participation in decision-making processes. This declaration has provided a framework for Native American tribes to advocate for their rights and sovereignty. Today, many Native American tribes are also using their cultural heritage to promote economic development and sustainability. They are using traditional knowledge and practices to create businesses and industries that are both profitable and environmentally sustainable. The future of Native American culture is bright, as tribes continue to adapt and evolve while also preserving their rich traditions and heritage. By working together and advocating for their rights and sovereignty, Native American communities can ensure that their culture continues to thrive for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of Native American culture. We hope that this video has provided you with a greater understanding and appreciation of this rich and diverse culture.